Welcome to another Bandology interview. Bandology is a Canadian nonprofit dedicated to more music for more kids via education, collaboration, and community.
Hi everyone, I'm here today with Mike Siracusa. How are you doing today, Mike?
Fantastic.
That's awesome, Mike. Mike is a very established musician. He is a freelance independent musician. And we're going to chat today a bit about his background in music and some other important career related topics. So, Mike, can you start off talking a bit about your background within music?
Sure. I was 7 years old. I got a guitar, and my dad played harmonica, and he would play all these Italian songs with harmonica. And he said, "I'll get you a guitar, actually, if you can learn to accompany what I do." So that was the deal, and I just learned. And there was no YouTube, there was nothing then. It was like I didn't even know the names of the strings. I think I played the guitar upside down for the first year. I didn't even know that it was like the other way until somebody told me. And then I figured it out and bit by bit. I don't even know how it happened. I started listening to some Beatles tunes and Led Zeppelin stuff, and I started learning chords and from books and all that. And bit by bit, that happened. And then a few years later, I ended up getting a drum kit from my cousin for like $30 or something like that, or he might even gave it to me for free. And I remember it was a Stewart kit, and that was it. It was the beginning. It was all of a sudden we were like 9, 10, 11 years old, and me and my brother, who was a bass player, and then the guy down the street played guitar, and we started playing in a garage without knowing anything about music. And we would just play whatever we thought we could do. And we thought we were like, this is the coolest thing in the world. And I mean in the garage, like winter, summer, like we'd play in that place until we got good. And then teenage years came up, and I was always curious into books. I was always studying music and practicing and listening to songs and trying to figure out what they were doing. And that was kind of my teaching at the time. And I never really took lessons, basically till I was like 17. And I started taking some lessons. I took some lessons at a store called Music Masters from Vito Rezza. And Vito is a pretty accomplished drummer. And I remember taking some lessons with him, and it was like, wow, this is like some crazy stuff. But it just wanted me to practice more and more. And I started gigging with my band. Like we were like 12, 13 doing gigs already, playing all around town. So gigging and just kind of like I call it the street musician kind of way to learn is the way I learned music in the beginning.
That's awesome. Yeah, I find a lot of it is through you can gain a lot of experience, like you said there, from going on just through the street experience. That's how I've got gained a lot of experience myself as a musician.
Yeah, it's like the on hands. When a kid learns to play road hockey, like road hockey, and then it turns into ice hockey. Next thing you know, you've got all the skills there, but you just need to kind of figure out, oh, is that what I'm doing? Like you don't even know the terminology for a lot of things, and then you figure it out along the way. And then I went to Humber real quick, and I didn't stay long. I say real quick because I didn't stay long at all. I ended up getting gigs with touring bands that would go up north and 3 months here and back down, and I did a lot of those gigs and stuff like that, but always learning and always studying, and going to LA and picking people's brains and doing stuff like that. And yeah, just anything I could do to study music, ask questions, tons of questions. I would buy music teachers coffee and donuts, just something that I could ask them questions during their breaks during lessons. And I was one of those guys that would hang out at music stores, wait for the teacher to come upstairs and kind of go, so yeah, like how do you do this? And they'd be like, who's this kid? But then I'd show up with coffee and donuts, and they're like, hey, good kid, man, all right. So it was kind of like a barter system, right? It was kind of a cool way to learn. I didn't know, it was just kind of feel it out as you went, and then things started really happening by getting really good gigs and meeting great musicians, and everything else just came together.
That's awesome. So after doing Humber and all that, would you say majority of what's your general involvement within the industry other than performing? Do you do anything else?
Yeah, I teach quite a bit. Like I was teaching from when I was 17 years old, Ontario School of Percussion, it was called. And I remember teaching there, and I don't know, the guy just said, "You play drums?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You want a job?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I think it was through a friend, and I started teaching, and that's where I started learning a lot about how to convey what I knew. Like I had to express what I knew, and I had to write it down constantly. So I've been teaching a long time. I've been teaching from then till now. Probably 35 plus years I've been teaching, and private schools. I did drummer's choice for years, and then I've been at Merriam for about 23 years. I do IMC Camp Rock for 23 years. I've done that, and I've also done Guitar Workshop Plus for 23 years, backing up great guest artists and all that. So through teaching, I got to play with some amazing musicians and some of my heroes just by being faculty members of these things, right? So yeah, teaching is a big thing that I do, and I do a lot of producing. I produce a lot of artists, and I work on many CDs, playing a lot of guitar, bass, drums, songwriting, a lot of songwriting. So there's many. I call it the veins of music. I play drums. I play different instruments, guitar, bass, and a little bit of piano, and I songwrite, and I also produce, is a big thing, and teaching. So they're kind of like these veins that come out like this. And I think that that's kind of important today, to be able to be, not just channeled in one area. If you want to make a living at this, kind of like just saying, I want to pay my bills, I want to do this, and I want to do that. If the fame thing happens, great. We've all had that time where we could have went down that road, and you make decisions, and some people go with it and some people don't, and you find other ways to make a living, and you enjoy it because you're doing music. So those are the areas I'd say right now that I'm still happy doing and enjoy it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's I definitely 100% agree with you saying that you need to be diverse right now. And it's interesting, we actually met through IMC, I believe, the camp you were chatting about, and there's some really, really incredible experiences through IMC that I had as a musician, and I'm sure you've had as a faculty. So do you mind just talking a bit about your what kids can expect with or from IMC, some cool experiences you had with that?
Yeah, I think the greatest thing is that it's a overnight camp. So you get to hang out there, like for both for teachers and students. The first day everybody rolls in and the kids are kind of nervous. They don't know anybody that much. They're kind of like, who's this guy? Who's that guy? By the second, third day, everybody's just way more relaxed. And then you start seeing everybody coming together more. And that's more important to me, is like people let down their kind of like their fears and their guards, and all of a sudden the music starts to happen. And it's the same with the teachers there. We get to hang out for a week, and at night, we go to each other's cabins and we play music, we eat some food, and it really becomes more than just music. It becomes like what music should be, which is, I think, is kind of like a relationship. In the music is the music, but in the music, it's people and the relationships that people have. And I think teacher to student, and the students get along with teachers. Like by the end of the week, I mean, people are crying when they leave. Like you've seen it. I'm sure the last day people are going home and they're all crying. I don't want to leave. And people coming up to me going, Mike, I want to take a picture. Can I take a picture? And they're crying. And parents coming up to me saying, my kid loved this week. And I think it's more about, we get to hang out for a week. So you become that family for the week. So you learn quite a bit because you're constantly in front of music, great teachers, and you got master classes, you got your band. Your performance skills get better and better because every night you're performing in a hangar, almost like a concert setting, and there's kids mosh pitting. I mean, what better setting you have than that? And you got all these great things that you're working on. You don't even know it, but performance skills, you're learning in your master class. You have private lessons. Sometimes you can ask for them from a teacher and you'll get that. And then the teachers play for you as well at the camp, where you get to watch like these great musicians, playing up there. And usually it's a theme night. It'll be like a Beatle night, or it'll be like 70s rock or singer-songwriter night. And the kids get to experience this just by, 45-minute concert every day from the staff, So it's amazing, And if it's great weather, bonus. If it's muddy, it's we still make it work, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I loved my experience with IMC, and it's funny, a lot of those experiences that you're talking about too. It's why I love with Bandology, we have our it's not an overnight camp, it's a day camp, a week day camp for kids, and there's so much community building and opportunities. We also have workshops with special guests, and it's just so great to see all the kids, and by the end of the week, like you're saying, they're very emotional about they've spent the whole week having fun, and then they're like, oh no, it's all over. And
It sucks
but
when they hate leaving. And well, I mean, whether it's overnight or not, the fact that you're doing it for the week there, I think it's great because the kids get to know each other, right? And it's the same thing. You're just kind of like by the end of the week, you're like, wow, we did all this together. It's great, you know. It's a good thing you
yeah,
guys.
and we're hoping to do it we are gonna do it, fingers crossed, for percussion bass camp this year, which is cool because I know you're in drums, so that's kind of
Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah. So with sort of the pandemic that's been going on, has there been anything that you've been up to as a musician or with Merriam in your teaching? How have you had to adapt through this?
Well, I give credit to Miriam in a way, like before COVID actually hit this, which was like, I'll say like March of, I guess it was 2000 and, was it 19 or 20? I can't even remember how far.
20. It's
Yeah,
been a while.
yeah. And so that year, though, in January at Miriam, it was really funny because it was like Alan Miriam was ahead of the game. He was already developing this online platform, and it's a really cool platform. It's our own platform. You got whiteboards, up to 6 whiteboards. We can pull any information we want. It's all uploaded and all that. And it took me a while to learn how to do this. I'm not very tech savvy guy, and but I learned it, and it's a great platform for us to teach on. It's really good. It's for information, we can pull it up whenever we want. We can write down homework stuff. It's all in one. So I got to say that Miriam was ahead of the game, and now because of the pandemic, it actually allowed them to even go further with this and maybe try to develop outside of the country now. Starting to develop, we're working on our website, and we bought way more gear for video and way more gear for recording at the school because we've been doing everything, all the recitals. Like we got 3,500 kids. You got to think,
Yeah.
you've got recitals, you've got galas, you've got band shop performances, you've got all this stuff. So we're doing them by videotaping them and then streaming them live on a later date, and the family could watch from home on their YouTube screen, and it's like a virtual concert, right? They get to watch. So we've adapted, I think, in a great way, and I don't think much has been missed other than really seeing the kids in person. And of course, the one thing you can't do when there's a lockdown, you can't jam with the bands, and that's what doesn't happen. So those are maybe the downfalls, but all the other things are it's become better at the online teaching stream. We're probably going to be going worldwide with this whole thing, and that means hiring more teachers, and we get better at learning how to do all this, which is fantastic, right? So, and being part of it, we get to teach all over the world, and not only that, our website. I mean, we attract so many people. Our social media is fantastic at the school. So if you're a part of Miriam, if you ever branch out and you want to do something that is maybe an original thing, that could be a thing down the line that we start doing with individual teachers and promoting teachers. So you can reach a great audience through their website because we reach so many people. So very happy to still be there for 23, 22. This will be my 23rd year going there. So.
Wow. It's a
Yeah.
long time. That's
Yeah.
so awesome that they were staying ahead of the curve. I think with me, I was trying to, before the pandemic, find some online ways to make videos and stuff. Like I had have some social media, but super cool. And that's also great to hear that. What did the AllStar Band as well? You guys are doing stuff still with that?
Yeah, like we went from September till Christmas. We actually had all the bands going. We had the shields in all the rooms, so there was no disruption. So at least we got in a half a year with all that, and the bands were fantastic. And at Christmas, we videotaped the All-Star Band. We have 3 All-Star Bands, junior, and then we got like intermediate, and then the main All-Star Band. And I got to tell you, the recordings came out fantastic, and we videotaped it all. And then the lockdowns came, and we were sporadically did them after in the new year. We did, whenever it wasn't a lockdown, we did whatever we can. But in the meantime, the All-Star Band and all the band shop bands, what's great about it, a lot of the members in those bands started taking private lessons. Like, so they beefing up their skills, and we would still pertain like still to the band kind of way of doing it. So you learn some songs, but through the songs learn like the theory in it and all that. So it's prompted more individual lessons because you couldn't do the band thing going on right now, right? So
Yeah, and we're trying to, with our play gig program, to try and find some adaptive ways of having that still band experience. You know, we did have done some collaborative videos, and we're doing. I think it's a great opportunity, even still, just being able to play online with musicians and perform throughout. So that's really good to hear that you have adapted. I guess sort of my last question is, do you have any advice for younger musicians that might be trying to pursue a career in music?
yeah, yes, I have a lot of advice. One of
How
them,
about biggest piece of advice?
yeah, the biggest piece of advice I would say is stay on top of of everything. And what I mean by that is don't let your practicing slip. Don't let your like social media stuff like what you need to be a musician today. Today's different than when I was growing up. You need a lot of different things to stay current. You know, you got to make yourself like you were saying, networking. We were talking earlier how important that is. Like just getting yourself out there. I mean, stay on top of that. Stay on top of your practicing. Stay on top of like gigs. Like find out who's looking for what, and maybe you can fit that band, or maybe you're a songwriter as well, and collaborating with people. Just stay on top of stuff. In other words, work every day at your craft, but work at the things needed. There's no magic in all this. The only magic is the hard work, and I'll always say that is that if you put in the work, which to most of us musicians, it's work, a lot of it, but we love it too. Like it's not like we dread our jobs. We love to play. When I'm on stage, I'm not ever thinking like, am I getting, wow, is it over soon? Like I don't think that way at all. I never have, and I don't think I ever will. And even when I'm teaching, I'm so involved sometimes that you're right in it. It's like, what? I get paid for this. This is great. And you're always grateful for these things. So I would say stay on top of things, and don't let things slip. And it's very easy during times like this, like when or you might not be gigging a lot, to become kind of like hesitant at things are not working out, whatever. But you could always do the thing that I find is really cool. Go out, watch some bands, get excited again for music. Music is why you're doing this. So whenever you're down on yourself, I find that go see a live band, go see something happen, and get that excitement again inside yourself of why you're doing this. And sometimes we might have to remind ourselves, when things are pretty tough, why do you do this? And it's hopefully it's we know a lot of times money is not the greatest thing in music in the beginning. It's very hard to make a living with it, but stick at it, stick with it. And I think with all those different veins that I was talking about, and all those being versatile, I think bit by bit they all start feeding each other. This the songwriting thing will feed the live performance. They all start meshing, and there's more people that you get to meet through all this. So stay versatile, stay on top of things, stay healthy, like mentally and physically. We do play the drums, or for any musician, I think it's very important to stay healthy. So I love to cook, so I cook a lot, and I eat well, and I try to stay healthy in many ways. There's good days and bad days, but you try to stay on top of things. So I would say that without being that vague, I mean, I think you can read into what I mean with that is like, don't get lazy. you know?
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, that's some really, really good advice. Thank you so much, Mike.
Yeah, this is great. This is
And
great.
actually, one more fun little thing we like to, with all of our interviews, do a little fast five questions here. So,
Okay,
are you
good.
ready for these?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, let's start. Here we go. What instrument do you wish you played other than drums?
Piano.
Piano?
I play a bit of piano, but not good. But,
Yeah, me too. Me too. How about favorite concert you've attended?
oh, probably my first concert, Santana. At
Oh,
Maple.
that would be a really cool concert.
Yeah,
Love Santana.
yeah.
How about your favorite current song, or do you have a particular song that you really enjoy?
Wow, current song. Yeah, you know what? There's so many because you get it's kind of tricky to say. There's a lot of great music out there today, and a lot of weird stuff too. But current stuff, honestly, I would say that everything for me is I don't know. I can't give you a current song. No, I
How
can't.
about a past song or favorite band or
Okay, I love the song the Rain song by Led Zeppelin. It's
oh, good.
probably one of my highlights in life. Like that song of hearing it when I first heard it, I think I flipped. Like I went crazy. I was like, "What? So good."
What is your dream vacation?
On a island in the Mediterranean with all my music gear, a studio, and just having like stuff to be able to go out in the water, and that's it. Like just being by myself, or just with a few people that you want to be with.
Yeah. Have you ever had a all-inclusive gig before?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's on my bucket list. I want to go down to an all-inclusive and have a nice gig.
Yeah, I've helped a lot of students get onto cruise ships, and they've done those Caribbean ship
Oh,
gigs, and,
that would
and
be
then every
fun.
once in a while they port somewhere, and they stay sometimes.
Yeah, that would be nice. And last one, how about similar to the vacation? If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Sicily or Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have never been to Italy, but it is the first place I want to go to. I think when
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think because I'm a big food guy, and the art there is fantastic. I think it's got everything there, and I'm watching the Euro Cup now, and I'm just already just freaking out, like thinking like. I want to go. Hopefully this summer, it's going to be great to go there. You don't know, what's going to happen, but that's my goal is to go there. But I want, yeah, that would be the place. Sicily, Italy.
Yeah, for sure. All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you so much again, Mike, for taking the time today. I really enjoyed talking to you and sharing. It was great to hear some of your insight into your career and great advice for young musicians.
Yeah, no, thank you for doing this. This was a lot of fun and great to see you again. You're a hard worker and a great drummer, and I've always admired your work ethic. And I think you guys are doing a great job at Bandology. So continue doing that and keep me in the loop.
Awesome. Will do. Thanks
Okay.
again, Mike.
Take care, man. Okay.
Thanks for joining us. If you like what you heard, you can learn more about our organization at bandology.ca, which features information about music education, advocacy and research, and our Play a Gig and Bandcamp programs. Follow us on social media for more videos, performance, and interviews on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.